Malik, let's stick on college sports and go to the Dawn Staley versus Geno Auriemma since we're in this college window. Because, man, in the Final Four, you had these two teams, which are the biggest brands right now in college basketball, and you had UConn, who was a perfect 35-0, I think, on the season, 36-0, looking to go undefeated all the way through, and it was a beatdown. South Carolina took him to the woodshed, and Geno Auriemma, after the game, did not like it. You can see him there. He's having some words with Dawn Staley, and Dawn Staley was not backing down. She didn't just take a little tongue lash, and she went back at him. Here's a little look at the interaction. I didn't realize there was still time left. I thought it was after the handshake line, but he was kind of going up there with 8 seconds left on the clock. And then
8/10 of a second.
Yeah. So it was essentially over.
I think they thought the game was over.
Right.
Yeah.
So go back to the Dawn Staley, because this one's pretty good. You can hear her. Listen to what she's saying after. She's walking around.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt her either.
No. Yeah. She is telling anyone who will listen, I will beat his ass. And I do. Like you, she's a fierce competitor. She was a great player.
Sure was.
Well, one more, and you could hear this sort of bubbling. This is during the game with a sideline reporter on ESPN. So keep that in mind when you hear some of the language.
Sarah Strong's jersey is split right down the middle. I saw you speaking to the refs about it. What message did you try to convey?
Right. There were 6 fouls called that quarter, all of them against us. And they've been beating the shit out of our guys down there the entire game. And I'm not making excuses because we haven't been able to make a shot. But this is ridiculous. Their coach rants and raves on the sideline and calls the referee some names you don't want to hear. And now we get 6-0. And I got a kid with a ripped jersey. And they go, I didn't see it. Come on, man. This is for the national championship.
Man, he was hot. That's a perfect one. Geno crashes out. So a couple things here. Geno Auriemma did put out a statement, kind of apologizing this morning. Dawn Staley and I spoke about our interaction after the game last Friday. I apologized to Dawn. It's basically an apology. It goes on. So Geno Auriemma has 12 national championships. 12.
Yes, sir.
Pat Summitt had 8 at Tennessee. The next, Tara Vanderveer at Stanford, who's retired. She's at 3. Dawn Staley has 3. He is the GOAT of women's college basketball.
Okay.
I thought this was a horrific look for Geno Auriemma.
Well, here's what I was thinking for the entirety of this time, especially that halftime interview. And you just said it. If you guys know women's hoops, you know that there was a time where Pat Summitt and the Lady Vols reigned supreme. They won everything every year. I mean, they were pumping out first overall picks time and time again. After Pat Summitt sort of transitioned out, it became the Geno Auriemma and UConn show, right? And it's been that way since. What I think Geno Auriemma did there, and look, if you listen to his halftime speech, he said, my player got her jersey ripped. There's a video where the player rips her own jersey.
Yeah.
And then there's a quote from Geno where he said, I tried to shake her hand pregame and she wouldn't shake my hand. And clear as day, she shook his hand.
Right.
So generally what I think happens is I think Geno Auriemma felt the grasp of the women's college basketball game slipping from his hands for the first time in probably 20 years. I think he was saying to himself, this is not good right now. We are in bad shape. And usually when you start lying, it's because you're worried. Like there's something going on. You're trying to save yourself from something. And Geno Auriemma, you could have said it better. It's a real bad look for a guy who sits on Mount Rushmore of women's college basketball history right now. And I just think he's started to get the sense like it ain't going to be easy like it's been the next couple years.
Now, there were some over-the-top takes. I'll say this. Because, again, I think it was a horrible look. I think you look like a sore loser. I think you lose some, your reputation takes a hit. Like, people are going to remember this.
I'm going to tell you something, though. I'm a sore loser.
Right.
Like, one
Great competitors are.
One of my favorite quotes was, and I heard Cam say it. He say, "Show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser."
Right.
Like, so I don't fault him for being mad. And
right.
I mean, I might even stretch the truth at the end of a loss. Like,
right.
My guys were getting fouled everywhere. Like, they didn't call anything on these guys. Like, I may do that, but.
So some of the takes I saw were just so dumb. Dan Wolken. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's the worst. I can't stand him. Like, I've gone after him on social media. He put out an article on Yahoo Sports, and he said Geno Auriemma almost has his Woody Hayes moment.
Oh.
And Woody Hayes, by the way, was fired as the head coach at Ohio State for hitting an opposing player during a game. One of the all-time moments out there, right? It was a horrific moment. He was fired and justified.
Terrible.
But like to compare it to that, and then he's like, "Oh, Geno needs to hang it up because he's lost it, and this is a horrific look for him." It's not. I mean, I think it's a bad look. But like to call it as a Woody Hayes moment and that, it's a warning sign. Here's the end. He's got to get out now. And by the way, notoriously missing was Dawn Staley's comments saying, "I'll beat his ass." Like he left that out of the article conveniently. Bottom line, you know what I think? I think this is great for women's basketball.
Sure it is.
Just like the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese beef was great for women's basketball. Like these types of rivalries and heated, contentious, where you don't like each other, people tune in. They want to watch a train wreck. Why do you think they watch Real Housewives of wherever? They want to see the fights between the women, right? They want to see them go at it. This is great for women's basketball. If I was the scheduler in charge for ESPN or Fox or whatever, I'm saying, hey, we got to get these guys play twice in the regular season. Let me see these two teams square off. You want to capitalize on this. So I can't stand some of the takes I saw that Geno Auriemma, this is a sign of the end. He's losing control. That's a bunch of garbage. The guy's still a competitor. And to your point, that's what I want my coach to be upset. Now, I don't want to cross the line that far, and I thought it was lame. He made up some stuff about the handshake line. It felt like it was hurt his ego because she made him wait. Like, I thought that was weak. But again, I think it's great for college basketball.
Yeah, don't think it's a coincidence that every time, like you said, the schedule makers are smart. They know what's going to sell. If you look at the ratings in the NBA now, right, the reason it's down is because I don't think we have a lot of those natural rivalries we used to. You think about Jordan and the Pistons. You think about Bird and Magic. These guys and these teams genuinely disliked each other. So you wanted to see them get out there and put everything they had into the games. You don't want to see them hugging and kissing on the court, man. This is good for everybody. This is great for the sport. I'm down for it. I mean, it's combat sports, right? You want to see the guys who don't like each other fight. And if they do like each other, I want you to pretend you don't for 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what it is.